Here's another question from one of our viewers. They wanted to know if you could install plumbing, waste, and water supply lines on the exterior of a building. And I really couldn't find enough information to verify whether or not you could or couldn't do this in the more popular building code books. Now, what I would recommend is that you check the comment area in this video, because I will be posting anything useful at the top of the comments. Now, I spent about 4 or 5 hours researching this and actually found multiple contradictions on a variety of different websites. So the best advice I could give you would be to check with your local building department first. And if you live in a homeowners association, definitely check with them before you check with the building department. Because on some older homes, like we're looking at here, you can see where something like this might be your only option to prevent major structural damage by installing pipes in the walls, ceilings, floors, or roofs. But it isn't always going to be the best, especially if you live in climates with freezing temperatures, temperatures below 30 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees centigrade. Another thing, don't confuse roof drain pipes or some type of venting system with plumbing waste or supply pipes. And we have some type of a vent here that's been disconnected, and you can probably see where this pipe just fell down. This part probably hooked to this, and then this part right here hooked to this. And of course this one here is a roof drain line. Another thing you might need to do will be to install the plumbing on the outside. You can see where we have a pipe here, and it looks like somebody added on and extended this section of the building so that the pipes would be covered. Another idea for dealing with something like this will be to cover the pipes by adding some type of framing extension to the building. And another thing I need to point out is some of these pipes will need to be painted to prevent them from rusting or to help them blend in with the building. Another thing you need to do is make sure that they are not blocking the window, especially if this is an emergency egress window. And I can't tell you how many times I've came to a situation where the pipes have been attached to the outside of the building and they're preventing either a window or a door from opening all the way, or they're blocking a grippable handrail in the stairway. And another thing you need to be aware of is that some of these pipes could be encroaching on minimum building code widths for walkway. So that would be the width of a walkway or stairway. And this is going to be a bigger problem in areas that have denser populations. And of course, we can't forget my favorite. And if we look at the blue arrow here, or where it is pointing to, we're going to come to a drain. And this drain is simply coming out of the building, and it has a clean out attached to it. And I would imagine it's going to be draining this way around the building. And again, I could see where something like this is tempting, because you're not going to need to jackhammer through the building foundation or destroy the interior of the walls, or like I mentioned earlier, structural framing components that should not be notched or drilled through. So to recap the main parts in the video, if you live in an area with freezing temperatures, then don't even think about installing pipes on the outside of a house unless you're going to be covering them up somehow to where they're going to be insulated and protected from the freezing temperatures. And the most important, check with your local building and safety departments to verify whether or not you can install plumbing pipes on the outside of your building.